Live from the broadcast studio at Central Middle School, welcome to the Dreamers Club podcast. I'm Penelope.
I'm Malia. Today we will talk about how human, better, and other interesting stuff. So thank you for joining the conversation.
Now please welcome our Dreamers Clubbers and podcast hosts, Jay and AJ Webster.
All right. Well done, friends. Nice job. So, you guys are all pretty smart and you're aware. You know what's going on in the country a little bit here and there. Is the country, this is a general question. Is the country unified or kind of divided right now? Divided. Okay. So, if you were the president of the United States, what would you do to unify the country? What would you do to pull us together? Marlon, come real close.
All right.
Most likely, I would take out all racism.
Okay, that would be
Get
good.
rid of racism. Okay, good.
Now, you guys, just a quick note. We want you to come up to the mic. We're going to get as close as we can to you.
Yep.
All right. And also, another reminder, we don't even have to say this in Dreamers Club because you guys are good at it, but we'll say it. We don't really talk about politics specifically, and everybody can think and believe what they think and believe, right? So we'll be respectful to anything that's said. You guys are already good at that.
Okay, so the first response, Marlon was president, he would get rid of racism. Which is
Right.
pretty good.
Okay,
Okay,
good.
if you were
Anybody
president,
else?
what would you do to bring the country together?
What do you think,
to
Penelope?
unify?
I don't know, ban all weapons unless they're like used for like police forces or something like specifically to help
That's interesting.
people.
Okay, let's get rid of weapons.
Nice.
Great.
Anybody else?
Right
What
here.
do you think, Malia?
I feel like they should get rid of violence. I feel like they should get rid of violence because like violence is not always the answer. Violence is not always the answer because it's like instead of violence, like you could go up and talk to them and tell them what happened and like stuff.
Yeah, that's
good.
good. There are other ways
Charles, you had something?
to deal with conflict than violence, right?
I would get rid of people that think that girls are lesser than others, like boys.
All right.
Get rid of people that think that girls are lesser than boys.
Yeah, that's good. So Ruby's
That's a smart
talking
thing.
about equality, right?
Wow.
Between the genders so that women have the same opportunities and maybe the same pay that men have. Wouldn't that be
I would
awesome?
make judging illegal.
Oh, make judging illegal. I like it. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Who else?
Yeah. Good. What else?
Okay, what would you do if you were
What do you think,
president?
If I was president, I would help the people in need.
That's good.
That's
yeah.
awesome. Okay, what about you, Mackenzie?
If I was president, I would make every rule in school to where boys and girls all have to dress up the same.
Oh.
Just the same? Like a dress code, you mean? Or
Yeah.
like uniforms? Thinking. Okay, just the same. Okay. It would
If
make
I
it
was
ready in the morning
president,
easy.
I would ban homelessness because like if people can't be homeless, then they shouldn't be homeless at all.
Oh, that's great. We'd find a way, right?
I'll find a way.
Yeah, she's president. She can do whatever she wants. Who else? Anybody else? If you're president, what would you do to bring the country together? What would you do to
Yes. All right, right
stop
here.
the infighting?
Okay, remember, tell us your name and then tell us what you think you'd do to bring the country together.
My name's Bexley, and if I was president, I would make like gas prices go down so like we could like afford stuff, and like people that are like broke and stuff can afford stuff.
So maybe lower the cost of living a little bit? Yeah, okay,
I
that's
think
pretty
that's
good.
good. Yeah, things
Those are
very
all amazing.
expensive.
Yeah.
Okay, one more here. Okay, what else would you do?
If I was president, I would make sure everyone had a chance to eat some food one day.
Nice.
Make sure everybody has food. Awesome.
Okay, I want to throw out a word for you, and I want to see if you can give me the definition of the word, okay? The word is empathy. Does anybody know what empathy means?
All right, let's come over here to
What does the word
Jennifer.
empathy mean?
Go ahead.
Empathy is like feeling bad for others.
Feeling bad for others, yeah?
Empathy is when you feel bad for someone and you don't know the pain that you give empathy because you don't know what they're going through.
Good.
Good answer. Yeah. Marlon, come on close to that
Pity
mic.
to ones that come forth.
Say it again.
Giving pity to ones that come forth.
Giving pity to the ones that come forth. Good. Yes?
Understanding somebody's feelings and where they're coming from.
That's it. So
Good.
there's a word called sympathy, and sympathy is like empathy. Sympathy is kind of feeling bad for somebody, but like from a distance. You know, you see someone on the news and something happens to them, you're like, oh, bless their heart. Isn't that terrible? But you can feel bad for somebody and kind of be emotionally removed from them, right? But empathy means putting yourself in their shoes. Empathy means putting yourself in their place so that you understand why they feel what they feel, why they think what they think, why they're going through the experience. Yes.
Kind of like feeling like how like it is like in somebody else's shoes, like.
Exactly right. What it's like. So this is pretty significant. This is a place that has been a strength for us as a country, but it's something that lately we're really falling apart on. So when all we really understand now in our country, and sometimes even in our own school, is this is how I feel. This is what I want. This is what I need. And we don't really put ourselves in the place of the other person to think, what are they going through, right? So empathy works for teachers. Like when you walk into a classroom and your teacher might seem a little off for a minute, and you think to yourself, if empathy is involved, you think, I wonder what my teacher's going through. I wonder why she's behaving the way she's behaving. I wonder why he's acting this way. I wonder what they're going through in that process. Empathy also works for your friends, right? You get to school one day and your friend's not acting the same. Your friend's a little on the outs, and you think to yourself, oh, I wonder what's happening for them. If I were to put myself in their situation, if I was in their house, if I was being raised by their family, what would that be like for me, right? How else do we use empathy? What's another good use of empathy? How else can we apply it?
I feel like empathy is mostly just taking time to understand what it's like in somebody else's shoes. Have you guys ever heard that phrase? It's kind of like a metaphor. But it is, a lot of times you may have a friend, you come to school and they're acting weird, or they're maybe even standoffish to you, right? And it's easy to get our feelings hurt, but if we can take a minute, step back from the situation and use empathy, we can think, hey, maybe something's going on with them today. Maybe they're having a rough situation at home. Have you guys ever had a situation where you could tell something was off with a friend? How did you handle it? What do you think? All right, Giles?
I tried to make like anything I could do in my power to make them feel better and not feel as down.
Yeah.
Awesome. Try to cheer them up.
I would ask them if they're okay.
Yeah. A lot of times when we ask people if they're okay, it shows them that we're a safe place, that they can share what they're going through, right? What do you think, Penelope?
One time I came to school and my friend was already crying. It was like the morning, and I just walked over and honestly just didn't say anything because sometimes words don't help. I just stayed there and made sure she was okay. We didn't say anything because you don't have to have a conversation to make sure somebody's okay.
That's great insight.
Ooh,
Good
that
job.
is really good advice. A lot of times, I think...
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, that's okay. I was just going to say, a lot of times I think we don't help because we don't know what to say. Right?
we're uncomfortable
Especially when
or-
something's really tough. So that's a really good point, Penelope. Sometimes it's just sitting with somebody, being quiet and sitting in their situation, right? All right, Bexley?
So one time, my friend was like really sad because I don't really, I forgot why, but she was just like really sad, and so like I just like stayed there with her for like the whole day and like just didn't go anywhere. We ended up having a sleepover, and we got like a bunch of food and stuff, and she felt better like by like the next day.
Ah, that's awesome.
When we were having this conversation at the beginning, and I said to you guys, if you were president, what would you do to bring the world together? And the first response was get rid of all racism, right? And then the next response, I think, was to get rid of the difference between boys and girls so that we treat everybody equal. Why do you think it's been so hard for us to get rid of something like racism or sexism? Yeah. Because some people don't know empathy, right? You guys have probably all studied civil rights, right, in your English classes and stuff. Hi. And that's a big part of it, isn't it? So not being able to put yourself in somebody else's shoes to understand, oh, this is what it's like to be belittled, right? This is what it's like to be told that you're a second-class human being, or that you're not as good as me because you're not a boy, or you're not a girl, or you're not American, or you're not white. That's a big deal to have that understanding.
Some people, they're really strong with their opinions, and they want everybody else to have their opinion too.
Right. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's true. All right, let's come over to Malia really quick, and then what you got?
I have one question, like, about the president's thing. So, if I was president, I would get rid of foster care, because, like, it's just, like, hard. It's hard for people to get rid of their past. And, like,
Oh, okay.
and it's, like, hard for people to, like, have good relationship with their parents, but you have to build that relationship with them.
Yeah, I can
But that's
understand.
empathy, understanding that gives you empathy for people.
That's
in
right.
that
What about
scenario.
you, Penelope?
I feel like people can't like understand and like stop racism and like the difference between boys and girls because they've done it in the past, and it's just like Malia said, people hold on to the past, kind of like a time saving thing. That's why people bury time capsules so they can remember the past. So technically, they're just remembering the past and trying to follow in their like the past's like footsteps.
So do you think that's like learned behavior? Like if your parents don't believe that boys and girls are equal and that's what they tell you, then that's what you grow up in, right? Or if they tell you that this people group is not as important as our people group, then that's kind of what you grew up in, right? It takes a lot to overcome that. Yeah, Giles.
Definitely.
I think one of the reasons, a few reasons why it's difficult for people to get like along with like black and white and like girls and boys is because we all look different, and some people just can't accept that some people are darker than others and some people have like completely different bodies and like everything from each other. Nobody's more important than the other person.
Yeah,
Right.
but sometimes it is hard for us to accept. And what is it usually that causes us to not want to be around a different group of people? Anybody have an idea of what we think it is? What emotion?
I don't know what emotion, but like the actions of like others that they've either seen or even if they've heard, even at like a slightest rumor can be like, oh, that person might have done that thing. I'm just not going to hang around them because I don't know fully.
That's it. Have you guys ever had? Oh, I'm sorry. Let's get Ruby first. Yeah.
I feel like also jealousy would be one of them too. Like if you're jealous of the group because you weren't able to be in the group or something like that, like a while ago.
That's really insightful.
Yeah, that's good. I think a lot of times, have you guys ever had a situation where you met somebody and you had a first impression of them, right? And you thought, I do not like her. I do not like him based on that first interaction, right? I mean, everybody has, right? We're all human and we all struggle with being judgmental sometimes. That's kind of how we're wired. It can be overcome most of the time. But what's the answer to that? Did anybody ever have a situation?
Can we go back? Because you asked a question I
sure,
don't think we ever got to. So this thing about the emotion.
Oh, yeah.
I do think there's a thing where we fear people we don't know. And we fear them, but we also fear losing what we do know. So in the civil rights era, we talk about that in English classes and stuff. We talk about the idea that if we make everything equal, if we bring these other people into our society, well, that might change the America that we know, right? That might change the way we live in America. And so people are afraid of that. And what's our natural response to fear? Anger. So when we're really afraid, the way we express our fear, our discomfort is anger. And that's what we saw then. That's what we see even today. Now that we're kind of battling this stuff out, we're afraid that if we give in to that people group, it's going to change our America, right? Yeah,
that's true. I had a situation where I met someone that was different than me, and I didn't like them, their attitude, the way they acted. And I wanted to write them off. You know what it means when we write somebody off? What was interesting, though, was when the next time I was around them, I got to know them a little bit better. And then the third time I was around them, I realized that there was a lot more to that person than the way they came over that first time. And what would have happened if I hadn't given them another chance? Some of my best friends are people I kind of didn't like at first. I was maybe even jealous of. I thought, oh, she's prettier than me, or she's got this or that. What do you think, Giles?
I think it's sometimes hard to accept that people are different from you, but once you get to know them, you start to learn that maybe they're more like you or maybe they're not, but you can still, like, if you get to know them, you don't have to, like, not like them as much.
Yeah, if we give them a chance. Anybody else have a situation like that where you gave somebody more than one chance? Yeah? Bye, Malia.
There was this girl that I used to know, and my first impression was going to her house because, like, our parents were meeting and stuff. We knew each other from school, and, like, my first impression was pretty good with her. But my first impression when she was outside of school was pretty weird because she ran her brother over with her bike.
Ouch.
And he broke his leg.
Ow.
So I tried giving her another chance, but then she ran my sister over with her bike. So I haven't talked to her since. This is like 6 years ago.
Sounds like she has a bike problem.
Okay, so that was like the odd situation where you give someone a second chance and they don't deserve one. So that can happen sometimes if anyone's running people over with bikes.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're talking about this thing of empathy, which is putting yourself in another place. How can you involve empathy? How can you act on empathy? Is there an easy way? Like you see someone in a situation, how can you act on empathy?
What they're going through. You're going to ask yourself that question.
Yeah.
So I think one way to do this is to ask yourself the why question. Why is this person acting this way? Why are they behaving? Why are they being mean? Why are they kind of bullying? Why are they doing this, and that? And then when you ask the why question, you kind of get insight. That's what empathy does, right? Yeah.
I forgot what I was going to say.
It was brilliant. It'll come back to you. I know
Okay,
it will.
Bexley's got something here.
Yeah.
So, like, whenever I first came to Central, I didn't know Penelope, and like she was just like really loud and just like
What?
talkative, and so I just like kind of stayed away from her, and then like we started like talking, and like she's like my best friend now.
Oh.
But isn't that so cool, right? But
Right.
what if you hadn't have given her the second or third chance? What would you have lost?
A good friendship, like
Yeah.
with Penelope.
That's awesome.
Right.
Penelope, you're not loud. Whatever.
It's an
All right, good. All right, Penelope, what do you want to say? You want to defend yourself here?
answer for yourself.
About the story, the only reason I gave her a second chance was like, what if her brother did something? Like, what if he killed her cat? Like, you never know what her brother
true.
could have done to deserve to get ran over. He didn't deserve to get ran over, but like I gave her a second chance because I gave her empathy. I was like, what if he did something to her? Like, what if she has a reason she's doing
Yeah.
it? She didn't.
Well, here's the important quality about empathy. So, putting yourself in somebody else's shoes, trying to understand why they behave the way they behave, trying to understand what it is they believe, doesn't mean you have to adopt that belief yourself. You can be empathetic, you can be understanding to someone who's a different religion than you are. That doesn't mean you all of a sudden have to convert to that religion. You can be, you can be empathetic to somebody who believes something different from you politically. And you can be empathetic of them without suddenly becoming that same person, right?
Yeah.
You can be empathetic to the person who is acting out by running people over on a bike without saying it's okay to run people over. It's not okay to do the action. It's not okay to bully someone.
Right.
Empathy says, but why are they doing what they're doing? It doesn't say it's okay to do it. It just helps you understand why gets to the root of those things, right? Yeah.
One of the things that I feel like empathy does is it helps us give people more chances, and it helps us include people. Sometimes they get left out. Have any of you guys ever felt like you were outside of the group, a group?
Yeah.
Georgia, she's like, no. I'm just giving you a hard time. My point is everybody feels like sometimes they're on the outside, right?
Right.
And when do you guys ever notice people and you think, I can tell they don't feel included? What are some things that we can do to help people feel included when they're on the outside?
You can make them feel. You can make them feel included.
How would you do that, Kevin?
Tell them to come over with you.
That's awesome. Come over, sit with me.
You can like ask them if they want to like sit with you at lunch or like play with you.
Love that.
Great. Brilliant. Yeah.
Okay. Want to get Ruby?
When like you see someone that's in your group, but they're like standing outside of it, the circle that you're in, and you can tell they're just by themselves and like sulking or something like that.
Yeah.
You can get out of that group and go over to them and like ask them if anything's okay, and then bring them back to the group if they want to, or sit with them at lunch.
It takes courage to do that, doesn't it? I mean, to leave your group of friends to risk emotionally reaching out to someone because you don't know how they're going to respond. It takes some bravery to do that.
That's
great.
awesome. Yeah. Marlon, get close to the mic, sweetie. Come up there. Good. No, stand up.
Most likely just pull them in.
Pull them in. Yeah. Good.
What? Yeah, pull them in.
Include them,
All
like
right, listen to Giles.
include them in whatever you're doing, or like talk to them, hang out with them whenever they need like a company, so then they don't feel lonely or left out.
I like that too because it doesn't put it all on you, right? If you see somebody who's alone, you say, "Hey, come to our table for lunch. Come sit with us."
Yeah.
And then you're not responsible for coming up with all the conversation, but you bring them into your group, it makes it easier. And then suddenly they know a lot of people, not just you, right?
Yeah, that's good.
I'm not trying to tell you all my life story, but like
I think you are, Penelope.
from 3rd grade, I was bullied and I had no friends. And one thing that made me feel better was when I moved schools, everybody was just automatically like, oh my goodness, she's my best friend. And like, that's the weird thing with people, because like you can feel unincluded until you just see like a random group of people that look fun and you just walk over there and then you're just their new best friend. I made a best friend. He's the lunch man.
Nice. Love it.
So
Yeah.
sometimes you can make an attempt to include yourself to be brave enough. That's really good. What do you think, Bexley?
That's a great point, though. Also, just while we're here, I mean, empathy works on every level. Empathy works on kids your age. Empathy works on the person that works at Starbucks, and you go there and you try to understand what their day has been like, why they might not be so happy in the moment, what they might need to hear. Empathy works when you go to the restaurant and you think to yourself, I wonder what this waiter is going through right now. I wonder what their experience has been like today. I wonder how they feel in that moment, right? And that helps us to understand and respond to them that way.
All right, let's get Bexley real quick. You guys are doing great. We're getting ready to wrap up pretty quick. You guys have some great answers.
So like instead of like having like me join like a group, I made my own group and like I let like anybody join and like let anybody like do whatever they want in the group unless it's like bad or like something. So I just like include everybody that's like doesn't look like they have any friends or just like lonely or sad.
That is such a great quality. Did you guys hear what Bexley said? It's really
Say it out
important.
loud for us.
She started, Bexley said that sometimes she felt like she wasn't part of the group. So you know what she did? She started her own group. And she says that anybody can be part of it. And she accepts them. So she will actually be on the lookout for people who feel like they're outside. So I do that as an adult. You know, sometimes we think that adults have it all together, but they don't. I went to a meeting yesterday and we were all adults from like work situations and nobody was being friendly. And so I realized I was the one who had to go introduce myself to everybody, right? This still happens, and it changed the dynamic of the whole meeting. It was good.
Thanks for joining us today for Dreamers Club podcast.
You can enjoy more interesting episodes wherever you find your podcasts.
From Central Middle School Broadcasting, this is us singing out. Have a great day.
Great job, friends. Great job. Well done.